Okay, welcome to Angel Talk. I'm
Hello.
Karah Jones, and I'm here with beautiful Jennifer and Jenny.
My name is Jennifer Capozzi. I am an NPC bikini competitor. I've been competing for like over 10 years. Absolutely love it. Part of Team Bombshell. I am a team member as well as a coach, and that is how Jenny and I know each other.
Yep, I'm Jenny Clapp, same thing, Team Bombshell competitor, NPC competitor for now. And also a Team Bombshell coach as well.
Yeah, so I have the pleasure of having both of these ladies in Kansas City
So
with
fun.
me,
Yeah.
and they are coaches and athletes, which means they travel the world a lot. So Jenny just got back from India. Jennifer is not only traveling for her job, but also her daughters. So today we thought we would share some of that wisdom with you and talk about traveling with this lifestyle, not only on prep, but just in general.
Just in general, yeah. You know, people definitely find it a challenge and they get concerned and they get nervous, but it really can be broken down and be pretty simple, you know, just kind of keeping it clean and easy, and you can make it work.
Yeah, so we're going to share about 5 tips with you that you need to hear to know how to do this, because it sounds intimidating to, have all of this food that you need to eat every day, all of your training, but if you can plan for it, it's not hard.
Yeah.
You can do it.
It can be done,
Absolutely.
for sure, yeah.
Yeah, so where are you headed next?
So I am headed to the Clash in Charleston and then on to Pittsburgh for North Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of travels.
Yeah,
Lots of
and
travels.
I'll end up seeing her in Pittsburgh for
Yeah.
North Americans as well. So September 3rd, we'll all be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jenny, do you want to go first with
Yes.
a travel tip?
Okay, so my biggest tip that I tell everybody, I won't stop talking about it, is I purchased a vacuum sealer for all of my goods. I feel like it works better than Ziploc bags. You don't get the freezer burn. Because it can also be done into individual sizes, and you're vacuum sealing everything. They last longer and they stay frozen longer. Also, you can take those, if you have one of those Hot Logics, those little microwavable things, you can take the actual pouch that you've made and throw it into the Hot Logic and not worry about it melting. It'll keep it nice and
That's
warm.
nice, yeah.
I've done peanut butter in there, made my own squeezable peanut butters. It's just the best thing that I won't leave without. And if you do bulk sizes, like bigger sizes of your proteins, then they'll stay frozen longer for big trips like I have this time where I'm gone for like 2 weeks. So I'll have big packs of chicken made up or steak or whatever it is and have that ready to go, and it'll last me until September 2nd, hopefully.
Okay, so tip number 1, I love that, is buy a vacuum sealer.
Yeah.
And we'll link in the description Jenny's favorite vacuum sealer,
Yes.
and then also the Hot Logic, because I know a lot of competitors use that.
Yeah,
Yes,
and the
Hot
good thing
Logic.
is if you buy the, we'll put it in the link too, the little bags that go with it. There are these big bags for the vacuum sealer. You can cut them to any size you want. So I'll even do my supplements.
Okay.
Daily supplements in a little bag, rip it open, and now my supplements are all measured out. I don't have to have those little pill containers that pop open and all the pills are in the bottom of
Yeah.
the bag. So yeah, we'll put the link and you have access to all of it. I just absolutely love that.
I love that tip.
Me too. Instacart is your best friend, right? So whatever you can't vacuum seal and bring with you, like let's say our gallons of water, we know right, who wants to travel with that many? You get to where you are, Instacart, any place will get, anything you need gets delivered right to your front door or wherever you are, the hotel, wherever you're staying. It makes it super simple, and then whatever you're missing, you just fill in, whether, even if it's a protein, you can always order from Target, it's from Stop and Shop, or whatever is the local store. It makes it super simple for you to get the heavier things that you don't want to carry with you.
That is a great
right?
tip and
The
a game changer.
Big time.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so my tip is to not be afraid of non-perishable food items, because a lot of times we think of those and they can seem super processed, but when you think about dried fruit, dried veggies, even like freeze-dried peas, tuna packages, as much as you can get that doesn't need to be refrigerated, it can be less of a stress, because I know that it can be stressful if you're going to a hotel. Sometimes they tell you there are fridges and then you get to your room and
That
there's
happens.
not.
Yeah.
And so for me, I've learned that the hard way, and I actually take everything when I travel, it's all non-perishable.
That's very
and I
smart.
also, I'm a backpacker, so I've kind of learned to live that way too. So you can order all of these online from, sometimes the survival websites
Yes.
have a lot of bulk foods that is non-perishable, like freeze-dried bananas and
Perfect.
strawberries. So that would be my tip, to not be afraid of those non-perishable food items, because they're not all super processed.
I need to actually do
I
that.
mean, that's
too.
such a
That's
great-
great too.
Yeah, we needed that too.
We have that
We
stuff
needed
for
that
when we
too.
go backpacking, and
Yes.
I've never even thought about the freeze-dried veggies because
Yeah.
that's kind of like the hardest thing to get fresh when you
Yes.
go certain places are
Mm-hmm.
veggies. And if you order them from a restaurant, they always cook them with something, even though you
Yeah.
ask them not to, but they will. So that's that's actually I'm like making a mental note of that.
Yeah,
one. I need that
freeze-dried
one.
peas are really good.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. I've also found that when traveling, that there are certain restaurants you can go to, like Chinese restaurants, and ask for everything to be steamed and done in bulk. And they will actually steam your rice, your veggies, and your chicken with no sauces and no oils because they're steaming it. They're not wok
Yeah.
frying it.
And Outback is a spot too. You
Oh,
can
Outback.
get some asparagus and just a grilled chicken or a steak with nothing on it.
Yeah, you have to say no butter. They
Yeah.
they definitely put butter on it. But,
Yep.
oh my god.
Because it tastes so much better.
I know.
Everything, butter makes everything better, I think.
But yeah, so that's another tip that I always
Yeah.
do, the Chinese restaurant, to get my white steamed rice and veggies. But I'm still racking my brain about those peas. Now I want
Yeah, we
freeze-dried
gotta get
peas.
the freeze-dried.
Yeah, freeze-dried
sure.
strawberries taste like dessert. They're so good.
Oh,
Okay, so I like that.
we're gonna be
got some new
Instacarting
ones.
those in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is another one, because you had mentioned about when you get to the hotel and now there's not a refrigerator when they said there was. That happened to me. So you know what I ended up doing? Again, back to Instacart. I Instacarted one of the old school styrofoam coolers.
Yeah.
And I was able to keep my food.
And they're like $5, right?
Yeah, $5.
Yeah.
And then you use the ice from the ice machine in the hotel. And I was able to keep my food fresh in the room for the 3 or 4 days that I was at the hotel.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a great tip.
right?
Because sometimes it can seem, sometimes we all what am I trying to say? Catastrophize.
Yes,
When
big-
bad
Oh
things
my
happen,
goodness.
when you're on prep, it's like, oh no, I don't have a fridge. Everything, I'm not going to be able to go on stage because I don't have a fridge. But then if you think about it, oh wait, I can just Instacart.
We can solve this.
Yep.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can
So that's
solve
a
it.
great,
Yeah.
great tip.
Yeah.
But I like that. I'm still hung up on the freeze-dried stuff because I just got back from India, and you can't bring vegetables with you on the plane. I was
can't
able to
travel.
bring proteins, like tuna packets, chicken packets, things like that, but I could not bring fresh vegetables. They just won't let you. So that's what I could have done is done some sort of freeze-dried, like the
Now we know.
backpackers.
So even in your checked bag, when you go, is that
I didn't try for the checked bag because I was just told that you're not allowed to bring vegetables.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't want them to take it just
Okay.
in case. But I do know that where I live in the Virgin Islands, you can't leave with vegetables.
Okay.
If you try, they will go through it and they manhandle it and they pick at it. So it's like you don't want, and they have those gloves on. They've touched everybody else's stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not even worth it at that point.
Yeah.
So I didn't try checking it, but I'm assuming they probably would have taken it anyway. So they would have in the Virgin Islands. So, but yeah, I'm still hung up on that. I'm going back to look at this.
So recap on the tips. So the first one
Was the vacuum sealer.
The vacuum sealer.
And it's like under $50.
yes. Second
Amazon.
one was
Instacart.
Instacart. Third one, freeze dried or just non-perishable food items.
Yep.
And then your fourth one,
Was the Chinese restaurant was
Chinese restaurant.
yeah, I've even done Subway to make
Yeah.
a salad before
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have all the fresh veggies right there, Subway, and then I threw my own proteins on top
Yeah,
of
and
it.
restaurants are getting a lot better
They
about
Absolutely. Don't be afraid
accommodating.
to tell them what you want. With
Yes.
the way everyone is with so many food allergies, you can definitely say, I cannot have butter and oil on this chicken or whatever protein is
Yeah.
you're getting.
Yeah. And then your last tip, I think it was more like be creative.
Yes.
If
Yes.
a problem pops up,
can-
what can you do to fix it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotta
Don't get
find
too stressed.
solutions.
We can make it work.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
keeping your stress at bay
Is
when you're
necessary.
competing is, it's so necessary because if you don't, your body will hold cortisol and you'll see that on stage.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the last thing we want. We've worked so hard.
Yeah.
You don't want just the fact that you didn't have a styrofoam cooler to be your
Yeah.
the end of your
You don't want
competition.
that to be the thing that takes you down.
Have
Yeah.
you ever had any horror stories about going through like a food mishap, when you're traveling on prep?
That honestly, I learned coming up with that cooler thing, because I was promised a refrigerator the last place I was, and I got in there and there was none, and they kept saying it's gonna come. I'm like, great, and it never came. So then I was like, shoot, how do I resolve this? I have to be here, I'm competing, how do I make this work? And I went to the Instacart, got myself a cooler, and made it all happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was a moment where it was sheer panic. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Because I know this is happening. I had to just get my head on right and take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had anything like a horror story, but I know when I was over in Europe, the hotels, that was where it was like there was no fridges.
Yeah.
and you could ask to use their fridge, but the
Oh.
hotel people sometimes weren't super accommodating. You have to wait till they were there. And then I don't think mini fridges over in Europe are a thing, because
Right.
we also tried to buy one, but we couldn't find a mini fridge anywhere. So it was like we tried everything, and eventually we just used the hotels. They had one main one in their employee break room, and they were nice enough to let us use
Oh,
it.
That was
thank
good.
goodness, yeah.
Have you ever had any
Yes,
more?
my
Okay.
horror story was that I was working, I was in prep, but I was working for our tanning and makeup company, Ice, at one of the shows, and we thought the refrigerator was plugged in, and it was not. Because they had dropped it off cold, and we assumed they plugged it in, and they didn't. So we were working all day, came back, that the food was ruined. So that's how I found out ordering, I had heard, okay, so I tried the Chinese restaurant, and that's how I found out that we could get food, because all of the food was bad. I mean, it even stunk
Yeah.
when we
Yeah,
came in
that's-
there. We had been doing hair and makeup and tanning all day at the show.
And so you were so excited to
I was so excited to go back and eat. Oh, yep. That was my horror story. It ended up fine, and I still was able to
Yeah.
compete. But I feel like if we know these things in advance, it's going to help us, because a lot of people, if you don't have that mindset just right, some people will be like, oh, well, then I guess I'm not in prep anymore. I'm just going to, but that's not the right mindset to have. There's always a way we can figure something out.
Yeah, things will always come up on prep. Like
Yes.
life happens, whether you want
This is
to, like
true.
life, it
So true.
happens. So
It
being
does, yeah.
flexible and
Yes,
yeah,
flexibility. It's a
And
necessity.
always have a tuna packet in your
Yeah,
backpack.
yeah.
yeah, that's a great
It
tip.
is.
That is a great
Always have
tip.
you
Don't leave home without it.
Okay, so how can people find you?
Instagram, right? And we also have a team website, bombshellfitness.com. Jenny and I are both on that. And then on Instagram, I'm at fitlife_by_Jennifer.
And I am Jenny Clapp, CLAPP_.
Yeah, and-
JENNYCLAPP_. Yeah.
They both coach not only competitors but
team.
lifestyle clients
Yes.
and women all over the world,
Women all
right?
over. That's
Yeah.
the beautiful thing about Bombshell. We can get to anybody, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
And Jenny is in her peak week. It's Monday. She's competing on Saturday.
Yes.
And then Jennifer is 2 weeks out, and they'll be both competing, fighting for that pro card.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we're
Looking forward
cheering
to it.
hard for
Thank
you.
Thank you. Well,
Yeah.
we
Excited.
will do our Angel Competition Bikinis proud,
Yes.
hopefully.
Yeah,
So-
always,
we'll be wearing
always.
our
My
It does
brand new
not
suit.
matter what you
That's it.
place. You always,
Oh,
you always
thank
do
you.
it
That's
justice.
sweet.
You
Thank
look
you.
so beautiful in the suits. So
Yes,
thank
well,
you.
they make it easy. They're beautiful suits, so, yeah.
Well, thanks so much for watching.
Thank you.
And
Yeah,
let us
thanks
know
for
if
having
you
us.
have any tips. Definitely comment them below, and
For
maybe we
sure.
can redo this again and
Yeah.
talk about more traveling tips, because I think
Absolutely.
it's something
Love
we
to.
all need to hear.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
That's all.
Bye.